like is it 2 or 3 years ago. That was NZUSD, but I never
NZ.
made any NZUSD.
So we should look at SNDUND.
Yeah, they said that it follows patterns, but I never made much profit from it like that. I just made a few profit.
Pattern like how?
Like it follows the patterns, like all these um. ah, there was this guy that was teaching before. Did robust theorem or something. So it was
Robust.
following well. Mm. It's that one now.
SNDUSD. That's Netherlands US dollar now.
Yeah, it's that one
Like
that they doing that triangle like that Elliott wave something like that.
or is it this what do we call it? Um eh, I've forgotten it all. But I will remember along the procession. We use it in BTMM too. It's like like trapezium, right?
Yeah, like trapezium to
We
know
use it
when
in
the W
BTMM.
is or ends.
Yeah, we use it in BTMM too, but I will remember, sure. Let me just
Okay.
try to remember. I will remember along before we finish the class. I will remember. So here we go with NZDUSD, right? That's Netherlands US dollar now.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just talk about order block and imbalance.
Okay.
Mm. Let's talk about order block and imbalance. So basically, order block is an ICT concept, right? It's an ICT concept. So these are part of the things we put into consideration, right? These are parts of the things we put into consideration. So basically, what we mean by an order block is just this. Um, let me, one we have this market makers or this um market structure, right?
Yeah.
This higher low, right?
Yeah.
Higher, right?
Yes, sir.
Higher low, high, right?
Yeah.
So what we mean by basically what we will use as order block is you see this expansion here, right? The last red candle here, you always have it like this. Always have it like this. The last green candle at this expansion here, right? That's what we call bearish order block. We have two order blocks. We have bearish order block and bullish order block. So when we talk about bearish order block, we are anticipating for what? For a sell, right?
Okay.
And when we talk about bullish order block, we are anticipating for a buy, right? And
Okay.
you don't even need to discover yourself whether it's a bullish or bearish order block. All you just need to do is that this last expansion here, right? This last expansion here, this last expansion here, right? This is the expansion, right? This is the
Yes, sir.
retracement. This is the expansion. So this expansion now, right? The last green candle at this top here is what we'll mark out, right? You will highlight it out, right? Both the
Okay.
weak and the body. Though some people actually say the some people have the opinion that we should just use some people have the opinion that we should just use or that you should not consider the weak, right? Some people
Okay.
have the opinion that we should not consider the weak. Why some have the opinion that okay, we should consider the weak. So basically what you do is that the last green candle, right, in an expansion, you mark it out. So anytime price will actually what will retrace back to it, then you can what you can look, you can anticipate for, you can anticipate for what for you can anticipate for your setup right from it. Right. So what you just need to do is that you just mark out the last green candle here. Right. So anytime, most of the time when you have this or retracement, is always going to be at order block. Right.
Okay.
So you mark out the last green candle here, you extend it out. So once price is coming back, retracing back to it, you start to what to anticipate for what to take the buy setup again. Right.
Okay.
Then that's for order block. Then we have what we call the imbalance. The last time I promised you we just talk about order block and imbalance. So what we mean
Yeah.
by order our imbalance is that usually the candlestick we should always have a what the in this situation this is what we should always have when a candle is trending, right? When a candle is trending, they have to what overlap, right? This is a normal scenario. Now in this situation, this is what we should have, right? But when we now come to imbalance now, basically is a three candle, right? Mostly three candles. So you can have it like this, imbalance, right? You can have it like this. So instead of V overlapping like this now, you now have it like this. It can be in any format, right? But
Yeah.
what we just need there is that there has to be what interaction between a previous candle and the what and the next candle that will form it. There has to be an interaction between the two, right? There has to be
Yeah.
what interaction between this candle and this candle, right?
Okay.
So
Like we
normally
do.
this candle, yes. So most of the time in this situation, what we should have is this. What we should have is this. There will always be a week. So let's assume this was the week. So in ideal situation, the week of this should overlap with this, right? Should overlap with this. This is in ideal situation, right?
Okay.
So that will tell you if you look at very well now, this is the what when it comes to we've not talked about candlestick or we'll talk about candlestick. Basically, when we talk about candlestick, right, we'll look at four things, which are we look at four things when it comes to the candlestick pattern, right? So let's
Yeah.
assume this is a candlestick. So the first thing we put into consideration is the open, which is this, depending on whether it's a bullish candle or bearish candle, right? But let's assume this is the bearish candle now. This is going to be the open, right? And this is going to be the close, right?
Yeah.
So these are the things we put into consideration when it comes to candlestick. We'll consider the what the open, the close, and the what and the body of the candle, which will tell us the momentum in the words, how volatile or how momentum, the kind of orders that will have in that candlestick. You look at the open, the close, the momentum, the high, and the low, right? So that's why
Yeah.
when you place your cursor on any candlestick, it's always going to what give you the ranges. If you look at downside here, at top downside, around that my you are sharing my screen. If you look at the candlestick there, you have 2021, 11:02, 10 o'clock. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So if you look at now, we now have the H, the L, the C, and the V. The H is actually the high, the L is our low, the C is our close, and the V is that's our momentum. Then the first one we have was our open. We have the O, right, which was 71,507. That was where the candle opened, right?
Okay.
Then the H is actually our high. That was the highest point the price has gone through in that during that particular time. Then the L is our low, the lowest point the candle has actually traveled to. the lowest point the candle have actually traveled to. Right, that's our low. That's our low. So that's then we have the what the low. So basically we'll consider this. So in this situation, if another candle is starting from this number, they open, there should be an interaction between in this situation, it should start from here, right? It should start from the open of the close of this candle here, right? It should
Okay.
start from the close of this candle. That's an ideal situation, right? It should start from the
Okay.
close of that candle. Then you can have the wick anyway, anyhow you want to have the wick, right? But
Okay.
normally there should be interaction between the two. This is an ideal situation, right? In ideal situation, you should have it like this, right? In ideal situation, you should have it like this. So if you have this is normal way the price should actually what travel out. But when you now come to imbalance, right? In imbalance now, you now have it this way. In imbalance, you have it this way. This three candle now will now be like this. Normally, you are going to have the what? The wick. Then you now have the what? The second candle now will now be like this. Alright. There will not be any reaction, any interaction between it. There will not be any interaction between it. Then you have the what? The third candle. Now have the what? The third candle. So the volume can be anyhow, right? The volume can be anyhow. But what we just need that now. So in this kind of situation now, there is not any interaction between this and this, right? So you mark out the little gap between this, right? You mark out the little gap between it. Usually it should not be. So you let me do something here. On let me see on. I have
So,
no.
okay.
So in like this situation, this is what you are going to have when it comes to what the imbalance. This is what you are going to have. What's wrong with my mouse? So you have it in such a way that there will not be any. What's happening? Hope you are still with me.
Yes, sir.
So you have the wick like this, right? So this is what you want to make use of. So you just mark out the difference between this little gap here, right? This little area here, you mark it out. So that is your what? That is your imbalance, right? That means there is no any kind of transaction or any kind of at that particular time the market is just dead. There's nothing that is happening during that time. So you mark it out. So most of the time, price will always come back and fill this gap, this imbalance between these two candles. They have to neutralize the orders that they have there, right? So most of the time when you are looking out for your order blocks, you consider area most of the time when you have your order block and you actually want to trade only with the order block, you consider the imbalance. Because most of the time when you have the order block, there are times when there will always be imbalance before it or above it, depending on the kind of market you are looking for, the kind of setup you are looking for. Alright, let me just save the noise into and let's move into the chart and have a practical example of it. then you understand more better about it.
Okay, that's fine.
So you said we should work with NZD, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
the
fine.
other block is available. You can use it on any time frame, right? You can use it on any time frame, but to have an effective order block, it's always better you stick with your 1 hour. You look for it on higher time frame. Then another thing is that once you spot your order block, you can actually refine it. Refine in the sense that if you spot your order block on 4 hours time frame, you can go down to your 1 hour time frame and you reframe it, right?
Okay.
From your 1 hour time frame, you can go down to your 30-minute time frame, reframe it down to your 1 minute or 5 minute time frame. The essence of you reframing it is that you actually reduce the what you start reducing it in the process, right? So that you can have a minimal lot size and a very snapper entry, right?
Mm,
So if
okay.
you look at this area here now, if you look at this now, this current area that we are now, if you look at this candle here now, right? Candle, right? This is another block. This is an order block here, right? This is by the time the price get to it, do you have what? You have this sell again. So some people will call this order block for you to be your supply and your demand and supply. They are all still the same thing, right? It's just English they are using for us. Some will call it supply area or demand area, right? If you look at this
Okay.
set of candles now, this trending market now, you observe that okay, there was actually what the green candle in between the two is actually an order block. Price was then then another thing you put into consideration is that now if you look at it very well, there's what we call a breaking market structure here, right? There's what we call a breaking market structure at this area. Hmm. How do I undo?
Control Z.
It's not working.
Uh, the one before.
It's not working. But no problem, sure. So that's sorry, let me remove for this. Right. So if you look at now, we have what we call and what's a breaking market structure here, right?
Yeah.
So after this breaking market structure, price actually went back to what to this other block here to give us what our higher high. Because in normal this is going to be our what our lower our higher high, higher low, right? Then our
Yeah.
lower high, lower low, lower high. So after there was a break in market structure here, right? That we have this price return back to this other block here, right? Price return to this other block here to give us our what our higher high, lower high, abi,
Yeah.
our lower high, right? So if you're actually anticipating for this now, right? For this now, because already now we've gotten our what? We've gotten our break in market structure here, right? Again. So most of the
Yeah.
time you're anticipating for this higher what higher lower high now. You can start looking for it at this other block here, right? This is where the price usually comes what to give us the higher high, right?
Okay.
And then now this is for what? This is for very shorter block, right? This is for very shorter block. If you look at this higher high now, this higher high here, right? The last green candle here, right, is your order block. On every swing high or swing low, right? The last on a swing high now, the last green candle there, you mark it, that's your order block, right? so that you don't disturb yourself. Once you just have a what a swing high, and that's how I mean by a swing high, right? This is a what uh this is a swing low, right? A swing this is a swing low, right? And we have a what a swing high, right? We have a swing high. Then we have another what another swing low, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then we have this what another swing high down to this
Yes,
area
ma'am.
now, right? Then we have this
Yes,
swing
ma'am.
low, right? We have this swing low, we have this swing low. So if you look at this structure now, this is just our market structure, right? So by the time
Yes,
you
ma'am.
just look at the what each swing high, swing low, you look at the what the last candle before the what. Normally, what we consider is right. You have this expansion here, this momentum candle, right? Where is the last red candle before this expansion up? You mark it out as your order block, right? So automatically this will come out. This red candle now become our what our order block. So you can extend it out, right? No, there's no way once price gets to it in future, there will always be what a rejection, right? There will always
Rejection.
be what there will always be if you can if you even trace it very well now, it seems the last swing low that we have here was because of this other block here.
Yeah.
Let me go down to 4 hour time frame. Let's see if we can. Is it okay? You can even now.
That's true. Yeah.
So it might take time, but there's no way if price if my mouse so
Hmm. Well,
this last red candle here, right? It has not even got into it. Oh, okay.
you you're not using the entire candle.
It's the entire candle, don't mind me. Okay. It has not got into it. So most likely this cell should now come to this area and what and mitigate it for us. Right? This cell should now come and mitigate it for us. Let me change the template. Okay. So this cell should come and what I think is more clear here. It
Yeah.
has not mitigated. It has not. It has not gone to it. Right? So normally now if you are trading the other block now, right? At least 50% 50% of this other block is where you can set a pending order there, right? While your stop loss will
Okay.
be like 10 pips or 5 pips below this other block, right? Because
Okay.
it is post the all ramification price to get to this area is going to what to retrace back. So now if you look at this now, this swing high now, this is the last green candle here, which is this, right? Is our other block. Can you sit down and give us a what an instant reaction that we can look for what give us an instant reaction, not very long.
Yeah.
So from this area now, you can what you can enter for yourself, right? Your stop
Yeah.
loss will be above this high, 2 or 5, 10 pips above this other block. So
Yeah.
in like this situation, they should not come back to this low of this other block. The moment they come back to that low of other block, that means they've invalidated your setup. They've invalidated your setup. Now, look at this. This is what I'm explaining to you about this imbalance. Now, if you look at this three candle now, this candle here, this red candle. I
Mm.
pause my mouse. If you look at this candle here, this candle here, this candle and this candle, you will notice there was an imbalance here, right? This is what we call imbalance, right? You just mark out the week, the beginning of this week here. I said that was the reason why we had this. That was why you see we have this cell here, right? And even with that cell self, they've not what they are here to what to completed it here. If you look at this second here now, this long momentum second here, if you notice this very well, it was at the low of this high. It was at this high of this candle here, right? This candle now, this red candle here, the high was 0.717 right?
Yeah.
By the time we look at the low of this candle now, that long stay candle here, it should be in the same range. So what's the low of it? Look at the downside there. What's the low there?
Not seeing this.
Look at the downside around that default area towards the downside of my screen.
This is blocking it on. Mm.
Are you seeing it now? We're running out of time.
Yes, I can
Okay.
see this zoom. This is blocking it. This zoom, whatever. Trying
He's
to
not
cover.
blocking it now.
No, for me on my screen, blocking it on my screen.
What can you see on your screen?
I'm seeing participants charts, share screen, record reactions out. Like that's downside where this thing is meant to be. The currency pairs and the this thing. And I
See
can't
that
close
this line
it.
there now. Is there now? Can you see the default?
Where is it?
Look
I'm trying
downside.
to yes. Short and send it.
Can you see the default now? Toward the extreme, down
Yes.
extreme of my screen. What do you have there? After the default, what do you have?
Okay.
What do you have after the default? This is what I'm drawing on the screen.
I'm seeing 2021 10 24. Okay.
2021, 10, 24.
Yeah, open, high, low, close, and V.
2021, 10, 21. It should not be 24.
10 21. Okay.
Are you seeing it now?
Yes, sir.
So what is the value you have there?
The open is 0.72068.
Okay, the high is what?
0.72073.
Then the low is what?
0.71734.
Then the C, which is the close, is what?
0.7162.
Okay.
7162.
So now take note of the what the low, which is 71,734, right?
Okay.
Then you take note of, you now compare it together with this other one here, the high of this other one here, which is what?
0.7150.
Are they the same?
No,
But they
they're
are
not the
close.
same. But they are close, yeah.
That that's
Just two
that
people.
that's where your spread will come in place. Just 3 or 5 pips different. That's where your spread will come in place. Because if you look at now, if I should put an horizontal line there now, you can see this is it. They've actually or they mitigated it first. Right? They need to close the order they have here before they can able to think of another thing here. So that's basically what we have as order block here. Right? That's what we call the imbalance. Basically, when you have three candles, if you look at this candle here now, this three candle here, this, and this, you still observe there's an imbalance here, right? If I should draw a triangle now to you notice that this said here was actually where it lasted to because they need to feed this by order here, right? Let me draw the rectangle from the what from the close of this that you see. See what I'm saying? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Do you see that this now? If you have taken this here now, these are the things you look out for your take profit, right? You look out for your order block. After your order block, you look out for what for your imbalance, right? This is an order block here. This second here, this is another block here. So automatically, this is telling you that price is still coming to this area. What to what? So if you have the mind, you can still put, but at the first time, you can take part of your profit when they mitigate this or when they feed this gap here between these three candles here. You can take your first profit here because you notice that after you what after they feed this what the imbalance here, they what they reverse up, right? They reverse up. By the time we go to 1 hour time, you see this small doji here will actually be a sell candle, a green candle. Hmm?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
By the time we go to 1 hour time frame, a lower time frame, to be a what a green candle. Let's go to our 1 hour time frame. This is what I'm saying. So automatically, this is going to be
Mm.
this is you see
Yeah.
this was it. All right, that's what they could come and do. So those are the things you look out for. As a matter of fact, you can even trade alone with your other block and your imbalance. Hmm?
Mm.
You
Yeah.
can trade with your other block and imbalance. So it all depends on whichever one that is convenient for you, right? But when we are framing a setup, those are the things we look out for. We put into consideration. Consider your order block, your imbalance, right? Then your liquidity. Hmm. You consider your liquidity, whether you buy stop liquidity or you sell stop liquidity. These are the things you want to put into consideration. If you look at this now, this was actually a new scandal. I know this is going to be a new scandal, right? But even with that, if you look at now, they came to this other block here. Hmm? This is it.
Yeah.
So if you understand your market structure alone, say just add your your other block and your imbalance, and you are good to go. If you still go down to 5 minute time frame or even 1 minute time frame, it still work. It works on all time frame, right? It works on all time frame. It works on all time frame. Now, if you look at this now, this is our order block here. The last second, this is what? This is the what? This is the what? This is an expansion, right? So you look at the what? The last second before the expansion, which is this big candle here. This is what we have here. Hmm?
Okay.
Now, in ideal situation itself, you can even term this now. If you have not even put it into consideration, This is a what? This is an equal what? This is an equal low. Equal low, yes, right? So definitely you know there was going to be a liquidity grab at this area, because they already know that the people who started this enter for this buy already. This buy here, their stop loss will be below this area. So that was why they have this extended here, just to grab the what? Liquidity at this area, right? This is an equal low. If you watch the video, I said I did upload our liquidity. Those are the things we put into consideration. This is an equal low. Automatically there will be a step loss. There will be a what? Stop loss below this area. So they need to what? To grab that stop loss to reduce the number of buyers they have here before they will push the price up. Now this is what if you look at this three candle here now, this is what if you look at this now, this is what if you look at this three candle now, this is not an imbalance here, right? Is this an imbalance here?
So which one?
Are you still with me? So automatically
I'm
the
here.
what came down to this here. If I'm in the market that I don't have time to trade, these are I'll just go into my 1 minute time frame or 5 minute time frame. Look at my market structure. Hmm? Mark out my order block and my imbalance. I can take this sell from here. Hmm? So what I would this here, my TP will be at this area here. This my imbalance here.
Okay.
This my imbalance here, right? That's where I will target for my watch for my take profit. So I'm taking this when I don't have time. This is what I do. I'll just go out time frame or 15-minute time frame there. Look at this structure here. Hmm? Then take this right from here. Already this is my M already. Right, this is my M already. So I can take it from here and then my stop loss, my TP will be at this area because I know they are coming to come and feed this imbalance here. Right? They are coming to fill and feed this imbalance here. So just play along with it. You can just go to your 1 hour time frame and then mark the other blocks with your market structure and see how it plays out. Send me like 5 to 6 charts or 8 charts there. I
Okay.
hope you understand it. We're out of time already. I promised like 30 minutes and we'll use 45 minutes already. So just go to your 1 hour time frame, mark your other block and your imbalance and see. And let me have a screenshot of it.
Okay,
Then all
sir.
this markup you are sending, I hope you are keeping it.
Yes, sir.
Keep it too. So next class, let's see what we'll do. Once they are done with that, we can fix our next class.